Okay, in this video, we're going to learn another method to cube any numbers, and it's going to utilize this formula right here. But let me explain why this formula works. It's basic FOIL. N times n is n squared. N squared times n is n cubed. Now, n times d is nd. N times negative d is negative nd. So they cancel out, so it's gone. Then we have negative d times positive d. We get negative d squared times n. Now, we have negative d squared n, but we're also adding d squared n, so they cancel out. And so that's why we only are left off with n cubed, because n times n times n is n cubed, and everything else cancels out. And knowing this, we're going to go ahead and solve these three problems. And so let's begin. Now, this first problem, I'm going to show all of the steps. So n is the number we have, so 9. So we have 9. Now, d, I'm going to go ahead and put it as 1. So negative 1. And I'll explain why I'm picking 1. Then this would be 9 plus 1. And then n again is 9. Plus, again, d, we're saying it's 1. So 1 squared times n is 9. Now, the reason why I picked 1, I want this piece to be a nice number. 10 is a nice number. So if I do 9 plus 1, I get 10. Now, I have to do 9 minus 1 to give me 8, because I'm applying this formula. And so we get 9 minus 1 is 8. 9 plus 1 is 10. And then we have a 9. Plus 1 squared is 1 times 9, so 9. And so 8 times 9 is 72, and 72 times 10 is 720, plus 9, so we get 729. And so this right here is our final answer. Now this problem, I'm going to show a little bit less steps. Again, 10 is a nice number. With that in mind, I'm going to make d 1. So what I'm going to get is 11 minus 1, so that's going to give me 10. Then I'm going to do 11 plus 1, that's going to give me 12. N I'm saying is 11. Plus d, we're saying 1, the difference. So 1 squared times 11. So 12 times 11. Now I do have a video of multiplying it by 11 in the trick. But even if we don't use the trick, you can kind of think about it this way. 1 times 12 is 12. So then we shift one place because we have two digits. So 2, 1. So we're going to get 2, 3, 1. 132. Now 132 times 10 is going to give us 1320, and 1 squared is 1, 1 times 11 is 11. So we get this piece plus this piece, and that'll be our final answer. 20 plus 11 is 31. So our final answer is 131. This right here is the final answer. And so the last one. Now 100 is a nice number, so I can get 100 if I add 2. So what I'm going to get is 98 minus 2, so 96. Then 98 plus 2, so 100. And then n we're saying is 98. Plus d, we're saying the difference is 2, so 2 squared. And n we're saying is 98. Now, 2 squared is 4. So we have 4 times 98. Now, instead of saying 98, let's say we have 100. 4 times 100 is 400. But we have 98. And that's 2 less. So it's like negative 2. So what I'm going to do is say 4 times negative 2. And that's going to give me negative 8. So we're going to get 392. So 4 times 98 is 392. And I showed all of the steps to get 392. And again, with practice, you can do some of that stuff in your head. And now for this piece. So what I'm going to say is 96 times 98. And I'm also going to do this in my head. How am I going to do it in my head is instead of saying 96, let's say I have 100 minus 4 times 98. And then I'm going to apply the distributive property. So 100 times 98 is going to give us 98. Add your 2 zeros. Now, negative 4 times 98. Let's do the same approach as this. If it was negative 4 times 100, we get negative 400. But we have 98, and that's 2 less. So it's like negative 4 times negative 2. That's going to give us a positive 8. So 9800 minus 400 is 9400. 9400 plus 8. And so this piece right here is going to give us 9408. Now, this is very important. We did 96 times 98, we got this number. We never multiply by 100. So at this point, multiply by 100, so add your 2 zeros. So we have this number plus 392. And so we're going to get 0 plus 2 is 2, 0 plus 9 is 9, 8 plus 3 is 11, so put a 1, carry the 1. So now we'll have a 1 right here, and then we have a 4, and then we have a 9. And so our final answer is 941,192. And that's all we need to do using this method.